What's up, everybody? Today I'm here to express my opinion on The Last Jedi deleted scenes. The only way I was able to get a hold of this is because it's already posted on YouTube. I do not have the intention to buy the DVD, mainly because I didn't really like the film, even though I own all the other Star Wars films, including The Force Awakens. I usually tend to buy films that I really enjoy and I want to watch them again. And I haven't made my peace with The Last Jedi, probably never will. And also I'm making this video because a lot of people were asking my opinions and they wanted to see what did I think about it. I'm also going to add a link below where you can watch these scenes. So the first scene starts with Finn, and it's basically, there's the spaceship and there's a very beautiful shot and it tilts down to his face. And I don't have any problem with this scene. It looks fine to me. Obviously the visual effects are not completely done because it didn't make to the film, so it doesn't make sense why they would waste time doing the visual effects. But would I think this would have made a better entrance for the film? Maybe yes, maybe not. I don't think there's any big deal going on here. But I generally like Finn from The Force Awakens. I did not think that his character was well treated in The Last Jedi. I thought his arc was kind of dumb and he went nowhere. And right now, he's no longer interesting to me. I have no problem with the beginning, the whole gag about the suit, because he was already introduced as the comical relief, so no problem with that. The scene is fine. Don't really care if you were in the movie or not. It doesn't make a difference to me. The second scene is where the Paige's gun jams, and I'm assuming that's Rose's sister. I believe that's her. Doesn't really matter. Nothing wrong with this scene, you know, it does create a little bit of tension. If you made it to the film, that's fine, whatever. The next scene is called Luke Has a Moment, and that's the scene in which I actually read about it, and it's supposed to be a scene in which he has a moment mourning the loss of Han Solo. And once I watched the scene it's not as impactful as I imagined in my head, but to be honest with you, I would rather have seen this scene than him milking a stupid sea cow, alien, whatever. I love Mark Hamill's performance, and I think, you know, at least if they had added this scene to the film, it would have also added some heart, because if you think about it, Han Solo, it's such a big character. And another thing that I didn't like is that there's no mention of his loss. It's just briefly, Luke Skywalker just briefly says, "Where is Han?" and that's it. So and then I also read that this scene was not added because it would interrupt the pacing of the film. What pacing? The movie was all over the place anyway, so... And what's the purpose of Luke Skywalker milking a sea cow and not mourning his best friend that just died in a very tragic way? So, I don't know. This is the one scene that I wish it made it to the film. I don't think the movie would be better, but I don't know. At least it would have added some heart. And I like Mark Hamill's performance. He's just a master, and it's beautiful when he's having his eyes is filled with tears, and then we cut to Leia, and there's the implication that they're both thinking on the same thing, which is Han. I wish this scene was in the film. I really did. The other scene, Paul, not much of a sewer, and that's pretty much a scene where he's talking to Finn. Doesn't matter to me if he made it or not, because once they start sidetracking the film into that subplot where they are going to that stupid country, I kind of disconnected anyway, so anything to do with that, I don't really care. So it's good that it was cut out. Doesn't matter to me. And then we cut to Leia slapping him on the face, and have no problem with that scene either, because I would like to have seen more of Leia anyways, and it would not have added too much to the story. So yeah, whatever that scene. Then there's a nice little scene that is Finn sitting down thinking of Rey, and BB-8 approaches and see that he's upset and shows a hologram that he recorded while Finn was in coma. And I think that's a little cute scene. I wish it was in the film, just because Finn and BB-8 had some relationship in The Force Awakens, but not as much in The Last Jedi. And also this shows the kind of cool and nice character of BB-8. The only thing that I thought it was weird is that BB-8 was supposed to be, or at least that's how I portrayed him, as sort of like this cute little innocent droid. But then in this film, he's like killing people, like with a gun. So that kind of broke the image a little bit. So I don't know why this scene was not in the film, because I thought it was a little cute moment over there, especially because in this film, Finn and Rey are completely split apart. But anyways, it would have been a cute moment to see, but probably not add as much to the story anyways, because the story was all over the place. So there's a lot of disconnect in The Last Jedi, in my opinion. Characters that had relationship in the prior film. In this one, they have none. So it was a little bit weird. So maybe this scene of, BB-8 showing that Rey was there and cares for him and was worried about him, it would have been a nice touch. This scene is basically the caretakers, which is those weird animals that live in the island, are complaining because Rey made a hole on one of their cabins or whatever. I have no problem with this scene. It's I don't know what was it taking. I was probably taken out of the film because of time. But all of these things, why not focusing more on Luke and Rey rather than Canto Bight, for instance? So, cool part of that scene is when she says, "I don't think they like me very much," and Luke Skywalker says, "I can't imagine why." It's kind of a hint there. Maybe a lot of people don't like you or whatever. I have no problem with the scene. It would not have made the movie better again, but I would have liked to see, or I was expecting to see more of Luke and Rey, and we didn't get that, so it's okay. And then it's followed by the Caretaker. The next scene is the Caretaker village sequence, and that's basically where Luke kind of tricks Rey into going to this village because he says there's something going on over there. And that was part of training. It's kind of sad to see how broken Luke is. And again, Mark Hamill delivered such a beautiful performance. There's a lot of weird parts in the film that he says that he's gonna give her 3 lessons. And I only remember 1 lesson. And then it seems like he gives up on her. So this scene is supposed to be like one of his tests or maybe another lesson to her. And it's not an amazing scene, but at least it would have made more sense to see other sections of the supposedly 3 lessons that he told he was going to give her. So this scene reminds me a little bit of that party that they had on the Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks. There's nothing special here. If this scene had made to the film, it wouldn't have made it any better. The other scene is basically goes back to the stupid plot of Finn and Rose. They're already at the First Order base, and Rose bites General Hux' hand. I mean, I think Rose was such a boring character that I didn't think she added anything to the story, and in my opinion, she was given way too much screen time. That it's awesome that this was taken out. And then followed by that, we have a scene with Phasma. I think Phasma was another wasted character. They wanted to try to have the Boba Fett effect. I don't think it worked because they just brought this character back and they just killed her off in another very weird and stupid way. Brienne of Tarth is the actress behind the suit, and she's such a great actress. It could have been a little more epic and a little bit more entertaining. And I think if this scene was in the film, perhaps the fight between Finn and Phasma would have been a little bit better. It was way too it was way too silly in my opinion, you know. Again, if they had taken the Canto Bight stuff, they could have added this one, I guess. I have no problem with the scene. If it was there, it would be fine. The other scene is Rose and Finn go where they belong. I didn't really like them being together, or it's not that I didn't like, I just didn't think they had any chemistry. I think that the whole subplot was kind of stupid and it took too long. So I don't really need to see this. It was good that it was cut out of the film. So this scene with Chewie and Rey, to me, doesn't make a difference. I'm really sorry that, or at least in my opinion, the character of Rey was very misused. You know, I don't think that she had no character development. She's a character that she's supposed to be a hero, but I don't see the hero's journey. You know, there's no development. Which is a shame, because I thought she was pretty cool in the first film, and I thought that she was just getting lucky with stuff. I was expecting that she was gonna be better developed on the second film, especially with the whole training with Luke. But obviously I was not expecting that they were gonna portray Luke Skywalker the way that they did. But anyways, this scene, it's fine. Doesn't really, it's such a quick scene that it doesn't matter. But anyways, whatever with this film, the mess is already done. I don't think that any of these scenes would have fixed the plot holes that are spread all over The Last Jedi. I also don't think it would have made it a better film. But the one scene that I wish that it could have at least made to the film is the mourning part of Luke, and then it cuts to Leia, because at least we would have gotten some acknowledgement of the loss of Han Solo, because Han Solo was a huge hero. You know, it fought many wars and he actually saved Luke's life. But yes, unfortunately, this film is not gonna make to my collection. I don't really care about it. I'm not really excited for the following episode, because I also don't think that they left a lot of things for people to care about anymore. But again, this is only my humble opinion. Nothing against the people that liked the film. Anyways, guys, this is the end of my video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!